and welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds podcast with your hosts Mikey, Tim, and the two Chris's. Again, another episode without Tim, but work schedules suck sometimes, and he'll try to make it in for his usual 2 words of wisdom. We missed
And
Tim, but this is the only time we all get on and start recording at the same time. So this week we unfortunately. Wow. Okay.
Hell was that?
I was stretching. Gosh.
Okay. This week, or what was it? Yesterday, Saturday, we lost a legend.
We did
Sean
lose a legend.
Connery, the original, the best James Bond.
The best James Bond. Yes.
I'm not. No one can argue that he was the best.
No. Well, not what was tailored from him, and everybody else just. That's why they say. That's why Roger Moore made it so hokey. Did you know that?
Yeah, because he didn't want to be.
He didn't want to try and be Roger Moore
Yeah.
Sean Connery, because it's just too. Yeah.
Iconic.
Very iconic. Yes, Sean Connery.
How many movies he did? Like 8, 7, 6? I don't know.
How many James Bond? I should have looked.
Bond movies? Let me see. That's what I'm looking at.
But it's like I can see him now. He did one in every year from 63 to 67.
3, 4.
And I think he did a couple more
5.
a few years later.
6. He did 6, and then he went and he did 6 up to 1970, and then he did Never Say Never Again in 1983 because he said that he would never ever play James Bond again, and that's why they named it Never Say Never Again.
Do you? Okay, I kind of ascribe to that. The Rock was an unofficial James Bond movie.
Why do you think
What?
that? Why do you think that?
Because he was a British secret agent in jail, and he basically played the same character except he wasn't a womanizer.
I could see that.
I
I'd have to watch it again, but it's been a while.
God, no, he was in all. He was in all the Bond movies, and in a bunch of movies I've never heard him be in. What's the best Bond movie that he was in? I mean, Goldfinger was good. Thunderball's good. You Only Live Twice is really good.
I think I'd have to go with Gold Member.
What about From Russia with Love? That's a good one.
I mean, they're all good. None of his.
It's hard to say. One's not. I don't think one's just smack better than the other.
I think one of his most underrated movies was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, as Alan Quartermain.
He was also in The Great Train Robbery in 1978. He played Robin Hood in Robin and Marion. He was in Time Bandits. We cannot, not mention Time Bandits. You guys never seen Time Bandits?
No.
Oh my God, you got to see it. It's so good.
Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade.
Highlander. He was in Highlander.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, he had a bit part in that. The Presidio. Of course, he won an Oscar for The Untouchables.
Yeah.
A much deserved Oscar for probably any other role other than kind of like John Wayne. I think they gave it to him because he, they kind of knew he deserved it. So
he deserved it.
But that role in The Untouchables, he was really, really good.
The sad thing is, I've never watched The Presidio. I need to, and I've only heard good things. But
I've seen it once. I seen it once back in the, because it came out in '88, so that's probably when I saw it.
Isn't it considered one of the best movies of all time, or something like that? Or it's considered a great movie.
It's good, but Family Business is really good. That's got. Don't they have? I was thinking the other one. Yeah, I mean, it's got Sean Connery, Dustin Hoffman, and Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick was on a tear back then because he did Family Business, and then he was in that other movie. He was in a movie with Marlon Brando, which essentially Brando played. He was basically Vito Corleone. I mean, it was hysterical. But we're not talking about Matthew Broderick. We're talking about Sean Connery.
I think the only movie I've seen from him is really The Rock. It's the one I remember the most.
Really? Never?
Yeah, I've never seen any of his James Bond ones.
Entrapment's good. I think The Avengers sucked.
The Avengers was okay. I
He's a
actually
rising sun.
the movie he did right before James Bond got started was The Longest Day, which is like the greatest World War II movie ever.
Better than Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Don't
Because-
forget he was in Hunt for Red October.
How do I always forget about Hunt for Red October?
Because Alec Baldwin was Jack Ryan and not.
Sure.
Because it's November now.
Did anybody wake up Green Day when September ended?
I didn't, but I mentioned it. I didn't know he was Murder on the Orient Express. I guess he was.
The original?
Yeah.
When did you just kind of forget when he started? 1954 was his first credited role.
Really?
There's
Yeah.
so many good movies. It's
He
kind
was in
from what I
Darbo
hear-
Killing the Little People. He was iconic. I mean, just the voice. I mean, he just the way he.
Tom Clancy.
They don't. They don't have a lot of actors like these guys anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That super iconic. I mean, he can just slip into any role, and he's great. And I don't know if it's the voice of how he presents himself, but we're kind of, I mean, who you got out there? Maybe Keanu Reeves, possibly. Liam Neeson, but Liam Neeson's the same guy in every movie.
Yeah. Nick Cage is Nick Cage is the same guy in every movie also.
What's the guy? Then what's the guy in the he was in 300.
Oh my God! Why can't I remember?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It is. Oh my God! My brain farts. Gerald Butler.
Gerard Butler. Yeah,
Gerard Butler.
He could go that direction. I think if what's his name? He don't fight anymore, does he? Crap.
Are we just having like brain farts today?
I think so.
I don't know. I can't even help you because I don't know what you're talking about.
Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, Russell Crowe.
I think he could go in that direction too. Is he done fighting and beating people up? I haven't heard him do
Not
that.
really, but he doesn't do it as often anymore.
Well, I
He's a
mean,
good
his
actor, though.
last movie, Russell Crowe's last movie, I think I've seen him or seen a trailer for him in, was the one where he got road rage or something.
That's Unhinged. Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
at the movies. But
So
I guess I don't
still-
like him enough to run to go see that because it's been out for a while. But I think Russell Crowe could really go in that direction but I mean, if you look at Sean Connery's career, I mean, he went for a while without anything
He
major.
retired in like.
Well,
He said he was going to retire in 2007, but then he did like one more movie in 2012, just a voice role, and then he didn't do anything else.
But I mean, as far as I don't know how big of a movie these were. I mean, Diamonds Are Forever was his last Bond movie until '83, right?
Yeah.
He did that in '71. But I don't know how big Zardoz or The Offense, Murder on the Orient Express was big. But he just kind of did parts, but I don't know how big of a movie. You know what I mean? He just kind of made movies. Bridge Too Far, that's a good movie. So it's a great train robbery. So he went 7-8 years just kind of making movies, just kind of staying busy.
I mean, he was in it for the art, not really, you know, the fame, because he probably could have picked and choose his roles to just get awards, but he did roles to have fun.
But I mean, he started making his. I mean, he did Highlander in '86, The Name of the Rose, which is I guess it's a good movie. I've never seen it, but I hear a lot of people talk about this as one of their favorite Sean Connery movies. Then he did The Untouchables. I mean, he did Bond for a while, and he kind of did. Yeah, he did A Bridge Too Far. He kind of popped up here and there, but he really didn't take off again until the mid '80s. I mean, and he stayed busy. Into the '90s. He did First Night, and he did. The Rock came out in '96. He stayed. Yeah, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came out in 2003. So
Did you know he was offered the role of Gandalf?
Yeah.
Really? He would have been a good Gandalf. What, did he just not want to do it because he retired, or?
He didn't understand the script.
I don't understand why those movies are popular
According to
either. So,
Wikipedia.
I can understand that.
Oh
He
well. Also had the
Gandalf we got was great
opportunity.
anyways.
He also had the opportunity to appear as the architect in the Matrix trilogy.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That'd been cool.
You should watch Time Bandits. He's in Time Bandits. It's really good. It's a funny movie.
I am planning on like buying all the James Bond movies just to watch them for him.
They're on iTunes for like $30. All his James Bond movies.
Well, I'd rather own like the actual like hard disc.
He was
Only like $80 for all the Blu-rays on Amazon.
I mean, he was such an iconic actor and his voice that Daryl Hammond played him in the epically Saturday Night Live skits of Jeopardy.
Lay tits now.
Le tits now.
It's not what your mom said last night.
What's the sound a dog makes? Moo. It's not the sound a dog makes. Well, that's the sound your mother made last night. Suck it, Trebek. And that was his answer to like Final Jeopardy.
Oh yeah.
It was like write a number. So he made a V, right? And they're like, well, we'll accept that because a V is another. It's another way to write the number 5. And they pull it down and it says "Suck it, Trebek." And I mean, that was back in probably the early 2000s. They started doing those, and he was beyond. I mean, he did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but that was in 2003. But he didn't. I mean, it's funny how, I mean, even Norm Macdonald was doing Burt Reynolds, and I don't know if those are some of the most iconic Saturday Night Live skits are the Jeopardy skits. So
yeah.
Honestly, I don't think there's another actor with a more iconic voice. Like there's no actor that you like hear it and just like, oh, okay, that's
Morgan Freeman. There's
James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
James Earl Jones. It's James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman, and Sean Connery. And then you could probably throw coming up the ladder behind them would be Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, and the guy who does Optimus Prime probably. I can't.
What about Mark Hamill? He does Joker a lot.
Well,
no, he's retired from Joker.
He's not, but that's not his voice. He's like making up a voice. That was Sean Connery's voice.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean Connery, when he did voice acting, just used his voice.
Sam Elliott is another one who can pull it off. There's not many
Sam
people.
Oh,
so, but I think of all of the people now, I mean, whose voice you're going to recognize? Other than those people, I think Kiefer Sutherland's got the most recognizable voice for a younger generation per se. I mean, I know he's in like 50 or 51 or something. But do you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
Sean Connery was 90 and Morgan Freeman is up there, and so is James Earl Jones.
So my mom is in her late 60s, and she cried a little when the news came out.
Oh, that Sean Connery had passed.
Yeah, she loved him.
Well, he was, I'm sure he was. I bet you, if People magazine was around back then, he'd have been the sexiest man alive. How many times?
I mean, I'm looking at even like in his 80s, he would have been.
I doubt it.
He was probably a Playgirl or something.
I don't think he was, but
I'm not going to answer that question.
I know Burt Reynolds was, but I can't say that Sean Connery was in Play. I don't know. Let's Google it and see.
I'm not going to Google it because I don't want that on my Google search history.
It starts seeing ads for it.
Yeah, because God knows what else you've Googled without thinking about it. Oh,
so, yeah, exactly.
All right. Hey, just Control H. Control H.
Nah. One of you guys, when I die, you're gonna have to delete my search.
He was. I think he did it. He must have done an interview with Playgirl magazine in July of 1975.
Oh,
The more you know.
So
I was halfway.
you can buy a collectible. There you go, Chris. $14.99 on Amazon. $4 delivery charge. It's
All
in good
right.
condition. It says.
Ordering it now. Got to enter my credit card info.
Oh wow, there's another $25. I'm trying to figure out our man, Sean Connery, our man in Morocco. I'm looking at the cover. So he just must have done an article, like an interview or something. So I don't know. I never read those, nor did I read them. I never looked at them, nor did I read them just for the articles.
Sure.
I didn't.
I don't know what Sean Connery. What Sean Connery thinks of Daryl Hammond's impressions, because from what I get is like a lot of celebrities don't like their impressions from SNL comedians or whatnot. They don't. It's kind of like how people don't like them on South Park either.
Well,
I don't know. It's an honor. I mean, Brad Paisley
Yeah.
had his Twitter avatar was his South Park character.
Yeah.
So
a lot of actors and actresses know that when like they make it on South Park, they've made it.
I know
Or
when Ghost Hunters. Remember when Billy Mays was coming back
yeah,
and they had Ghost Hunters and they were like peeing their pants and stuff. They were loving it because they felt like they had made it because they'd been made fun of by.
well, it's
Yeah.
like when Weird Al makes fun of you as a a musician. You've made it.
That's what that was when he asked Kurt Cobain if he could sing a song, from Smells Like Teen Spirit. He says, "Is it about food?" That was the first question he asked him. Was it just about food? And he's like, "No, it's about how people can't understand the words to your songs." He's like, oh, "Okay," and they're like, he told the guys in the band, "Guys, we've made it. Weird Al's doing our song." So
Let's see.
I'm trying to read up on this
And
about Daryl Hammond and
I don't know. I don't see anywhere where it says anything about him, ever saying anything about it.
It just says the Connery character doesn't share much in common with the actor best known for playing the suave, effortlessly cool, womanizing pawn. Hammond mythologizes him not only as a fool but downright abusive to Will Ferrell's Alex Trebek, whose mother he always insults. That's the sound your mother made last night.
If you haven't seen that episode of SNL's Jeopardy, you gotta watch it.
There's like 3 or 4 different episodes.
Yeah, I think there's 2 with Sean Connery, and it's one of those ones you have to watch. Anyone have anything else to say?
I don't know how Will Ferrell did it. Like just break down laughing when he was doing this, but
I don't know.
yeah, because I would.
I think if you kind of watch, he kind of breaks a little bit, but
he's professional. He's good at
yeah.
it.
Yeah. But he didn't break. He's not like Jimmy Fallon, who broke character friggin' all the time.
Yeah.
Because he was laughing so much. So, but no, sad to hear the legend. I mean, I always knew him because me and my dad would watch James Bond movies as a kid. The older ones, and but when he was so good as Indiana Jones's father, and I really think that's where I think because like people in my generation, like I said, I watched the old Bond movies because of my dad, but I think that really helped introduce him to a new set of fans of Sean, because that was the third Indiana Jones movie, so that came out in 82, where Indiana Jones did.
89.
No. The first one, Raiders
Oh,
Lost.
the first one. I think it was 82.
It was 82, 85, and 89, I believe.
It was
So
like in between Star Wars, wasn't it?
yeah. So for him, he was great as his dad. I mean, his comedic timing was really good in that movie. I mean, and they called him Junior. And I mean, you just I can't think of anybody else in that role as Indiana Jones's father, Henry
No. He
Henry
played
Jones Sr. Yeah, that role was made for him. He was so good at it. So yeah, he's going to be missed. And I'm just afraid there's not a lot of actors like these people that we're losing nowadays. You know, I mean, good God, we haven't even replaced John Wayne, and he's been dead for over 40 years. So
Well, there's some things John Wayne says and believes in that we don't want to replace. You know,
I don't care about that. I'm talking about his acting. I'm talking about how iconic of an actor he was and the characters he brought to life. I mean,
that'll be a conversation for another day.
But I think you could put Sean Connery in that category of greatness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Marlon Brando and John Wayne, and he's in that category as well. So, like I said, I think a lot of these actors coming up nowadays, who's filling their shoes, you know. So we'll have to figure that one out later, I guess, on a different podcast. Who's filling the shoes of greatness?
All right. Let's move on to Mandalorian. It started back up on Friday. It started back up with a bang.
Dude, that show was so freaking good. And I've come to accept that it's not going to be just him bounty hunting across the galaxy anymore. He's just going to Mandalorian all over the place, which I'm okay with. But
I wish it would be, still some bounty hunting stuff. They kind of did in this one.
Yeah, but you said that and I had read somewhere that Timothy Oliphant's in it. So, but the first thing I thought was like, he looks like some idiot dressing up on Halloween, like looking like Boba Fett.
Yeah, I know.
The first thing I saw.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian, the protagonist, like you could tell like he fills in his armor or whatnot, and then Timothy like it's got a big old helmet and like a skinny body, and
he's got the body plate on his sweatshirt, you know.
Yeah.
He looked like he was going trick or treating, and I'm like, that guy ain't a Mandalorian. There's something wrong here.
Yeah, that doesn't look right. Yeah.
And then the more I watched it, it's like, oh my God, that's Boba Fett's helmet.
Oh my! At first I was like, "Who's that? That sounds like somebody I know." Is like the first reaction.
Just his voice,
yeah. And then just how he kind of carried himself, I was like, "Oh my God, that's Timothy Oliphant." Because I love Justified. Justified is one of my favorite shows.
He's good in everything he's in. He was good in Deadwood. He was in Deadwood.
Yeah.
He was in the Die Hard. Which one? What was it?
Oh, the fourth one.
Yes.
With the hacker, he was the hacker.
He was the hacker. He was so good in that. He was such a good bad guy. When he in the Crazies, did you see the Crazies?
Yeah, he was the sheriff in the Crazies.
He was the sheriff in the Crazies, and he was in. I first saw him in Scream 2. He's in the second Scream movie, where they make fun of Ewoks. So he hates Ewoks. He's like, Ewoks blow. That's what he said. He's in Scream 2, so I won't give that away, his role in Scream 2, but he is in the sequel to Scream. He's really good in it. So,
how much, before I say much more, are we going to be spoiling anything? Are we going
to? Yeah, we're spoiling. We're going to talk about the episode.
Okay, so after Mando meets Timothy Oliphant's character, Cobb, or whatever his name was, the Crate Dragon, I was so excited. They brought Crate Dragons into, like, Star Wars, because it was expanded universe stuff.
Okay,
but I was so happy they brought it in.
I wrote this down, but right, so like, hold on, that's my grocery list. So okay, when they send the sand purse, the Tusken Raider out to the cave, and he comes running back, and that thing comes running out and eat him. Yeah. So the face on the Tusken Raider, I noticed this, it never changes. right? Because they look the same. But
Yeah.
you could just see the look of shock and sadness in their faces because when they realized that their buddy had just been eaten by them, it was hysterical. And I like had to stop it and rewind it. I'm like, did they just show emotion without being able to show emotion? I mean, to pull that off, they're just like, what the hell happened? You know. But I love the way they brought in the Tusken Raiders, and
They're showing them that they're not just, raiders, and Anakin was wrong to kill them all.
right, but but the way they barter, they barter
Mhm.
with the people and trade, and the way that they showed them walking in single file to hide their numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that was just that's a Star Wars geek's dream episode. It really was, honestly.
Well, we'll talk more about that when we get talking about the end of the episode. No, but the whole final, how they got the townspeople to work together with the Tusken Raiders. I thought that was a good peacemaking.
Well, they kind of need each other, really. Yeah. In a way, the Tusken Raiders need those people, and those people need the Tusken Raiders. So,
I feel like today's society could take a note on that.
It was, you say that.
Right?
It was kind of like it felt like an old Western. Of course, that's what Mandalorian's always felt like, as a Western. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But it felt like, the sheriff and the outsider getting the townspeople and the Indians to work together to fight some third party, mutual enemy.
The sheriff is near.
Oh gosh. We broke Chris.
Oh man. No, that was just. I hope the whole season is like this, because what an episode! I was like, oh my god, that's so. And there were a few episodes in the first season that they just, they concentrated on the Yoda thing, and I'm like, this is stupid. I don't watch this for the puppet. I want to see the Mandalorian kick ass, and that's kind of like what they did. They're focusing more on him finally, which is what I want to see.
I felt bad. I don't want to say I felt bad, but it's like they kind of just put Baby Yoda on the side burner that episode. Legit.
But I was glad, because I watch it. I don't watch it for the Yoda. It's aggravating. You go out and you look for Mandalorian. Like I wear movie T-shirts like every day of my life. But you go look for a Mandalorian T-shirt, and is it the Mandalorian? No, it's a damn Yoda. I don't want a Baby Yoda on a T-shirt. If a girl wants to wear it, that's fine. It's cute and cuddly looking. And no, I want the Mandalorian. It's called the Mandalorian. It ain't called Baby Yoda. And I've said that before. So, they can send him off to Dagobah for all I care. I want to see the Mandalorian. That's just the way. It's just the way I feel about it. He'll survive. He's got the Force. But it was funny when he covered himself up because he knew what was coming.
In the cocoon.
Yeah. And they had the Gamorrean guards fighting. Well, I don't think they're not Gamorrean guards, but they were. That's what the Gamorrean guards were fighting in the ring. Okay, so Howard Stern would send this guy to these Comic-Con things, right? And he would interview people, because he was basically just making fun of people like us that go to Comic-Cons and dress up. And somebody dressed up like a Gamorrean guard, and you can't understand what he's saying, but all you can hear him go, "So who are you?" And he's like, "I'm a Gamorrean guard." What? I'm a Gamorrean guard. Oh, a Gamorrean guard. Oh crap! See what happens. You can't give me all day to think of this. This is what happens when we pod late in the evening.
What did you guys? Okay, so the Easter egg at the end.
How did we know who that? How did you know that was Boba Fett, though?
Because it's legitimately the guy that plays all the clones in episode 2 and 3. It's the same guy, and Boba Fett was a clone given to Jango Fett because Jango Fett wanted a son. So it was Boba Fett.
So how does he escape the What you call
I
it?
don't know. We'll find out.
We
Because
need to find
this
out.
is the second episode he's been in. Because he's in the last time he was on Tatooine. He was tracking Mando.
Just how do you know?
Oh.
How do we know that? I mean, I know we know it's Boba Fett, but because that's the actor that played Boba Fett. Is that the only
I mean,
way?
it could. Like I was talking to Mikey before you got joined the call. It
Mhm.
could be a clone that survived the Clone Wars and somehow stopped his accelerated aging. But if all the context clues are there, it's got to be Boba Fett.
Right. Oh, I agree. And I mean, the way they showed the. Plus, how did they get the armor? I mean, how did they get the helmet and the breastplate?
Maybe the crate dragon killed that Sarlacc.
I don't know how he got out of the Sarlacc pit.
Maybe he just I guess those Jawas. Maybe they stole it while he set it down, or maybe he just kind of forgot about it because he didn't want to be the Mandalorian. He didn't want to be part of that
He
clan.
traded it to him for something.
Impossible.
After
All
I know is
it might be revealed later, but
I will say there is some kind of design flaw in that jetpack because it happened to Boba Fett. All you gotta do is hit the back of the backpack and it launches him into Jabba's charge.
I mean,
And
that's
then
why.
And then in this episode, all the Mandalorian had to do was just hit the back of the backpack and he took off again. So obviously there's some kind of design flaw with the backpack rocket the rocket pack. That's all I'm saying. Maybe we should look into redesigning that if I was the Mandalorian.
I mean, that does look like an older model, and the Mando has the newest.
He did have Boba Fett's backpack, so.
And that was Jango Fett's backpack that we saw in episode 2.
So there you go. So maybe that's why it's definitely got a design flaw, though. That's for sure. You just got to hit it the right way, and it just takes off uncontrollably. But I love the episode. I'm excited. I'm kind of bummed. I wish we could be like Stranger Things and everybody else, where we can just binge watch the whole thing, because that's all I've done all day yesterday, probably.
But then again, I do it's like the Game of Thrones. We get to sit down and talk with our friends about the episode for the.
Well, that is true too. I agree with that. But
and I mean, we could hype up next week that we're going to talk about episode 2 when it comes out. We're going to talk about We're going to talk a little bit about it every episode. I would think so.
Oh, for sure.
Unless we miss a week for whatever reason.
Oh. Is it coming on every Friday?
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah, no, I don't have no plans for the rest of the year, honestly. On a Friday.
Every Thursday is Star Trek Discovery, which is amazing, and every Friday is Mandalorian.
I'll take your word for it. On this time.
But
I'm really excited because you got Carl Weathers and Gina Carano. You got their characters coming back, so
they're going to show the live action Ahsoka Tano. I'm excited about that. So, do you even know who Ahsoka Tano is, Chris?
Yeah, she's the white chick with the orange stripes. That looks like the dancer in Jabba's slave.
Well, different species, but yeah,
prison.
She played one of the best characters in the Clone Wars series. She's a Jedi, but then she left the Jedi Order, and now she's a gray Jedi.
She's a what Jedi?
A gray Jedi. It's a Jedi that's not part of the Order.
Oh.
Basically, because they don't think the Order is right.
They're both light and dark.
That too, yeah.
Kind of like Yoda. Because Yoda.
No.
Why not?
Yoda's light side.
Well, I know, but he kind of hid out in the middle of a swamp. I'd like to know how he got there.
He got dropped off by Senator Amidala.
I know, but why would you want to go there? Because nobody will come find you?
So the whole thing in the lore is it's a dark side planet. So where would be the last place you'd look for the Grand Master of the Jedi on a dark side planet? And that's why he hid out next to that cave, because it was a well for the dark side.
Right.
Oh.
And where else could you train to be a better Jedi and train yourself in the Force than train, where you're going to be tempted the most?
But if you're Luke Skywalker and he asks what's in that cave,
I like that.
Then Yoda says only what you take with you. Wouldn't you take like a supermodel
in
in there with you though? That's the first thing that popped in my mind. I'd
His
be like,
power converters. That's what's in there.
is it from Tossie Station?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have. I know it was his sister, but he didn't know it was his sister at the time. But I would have immediately put in Princess Leia. What's in there? Only what you take with you. Oh, I see Princess Leia in the slave costume before the slave costume was even popular. That's what I would have taken in there, not Darth Vader.
Creepy.
But that's why I didn't make that. I wasn't in charge of that movie or that episode or that section of the movie. Why don't he take in a half-naked girl? Nope, Darth Vader. Okay. So, but no, I'm really looking forward to the rest of season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now I gotta, spend another $70 for Disney Plus, so I can watch the rest.
Don't waste your money. I got it. Mikey's on.
Yeah, but I got other people.
Thank you.
I have people that use it.
Yeah, that's how it is for me. I don't want to cancel it now because there's so many people on mine. Especially my little cousins and my niece. My sister lets my niece watch it.
My ex-wife in Florida, who's one of my best friends in the whole wide world still, her kids watch it all the time, I guess. So, and then I
still think Disney Plus is like the least favorite of all my streaming platforms I have access to.
I agree. I'm liking this because I got Disney Prime, or not Disney Prime, Amazon Prime. But I've only got it till the 14th. I got to cancel it before the 14th before they start charging me. But I love that streaming platform. There's so many good things on there.
For Disney?
No. Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. Amazon's my favorite.
But I got to cancel it because I don't, I'm getting ready to venture out where I can't afford 3 streaming platforms. So I'll have HBO and Disney. So, which is fine. You can't have all of them.
Yeah.
My brother's got Prime. I can only sign in.
But that's why we have friends, because I'm not going to pay for Netflix. Because did you guys see that they're hiking their price again?
I did see they were hyping their price again. They're raising like a couple dollars, and there's
$1 for standard, but then like $2-3 for
what's
others.
the difference? I didn't know there was
standard is you don't get like high def streaming, and you can only have like 3 people streaming at one time, and then the more you pay, you get like HD or 4K resolution.
That's
you can have people streaming. I'm like, I would just pay the basic amount, but shit, I pay. Basically, my Amazon turns out to be $10 a month. So does Disney. CBS is like $5 a month, I think.
I do Disney of the year. I did Disney of the year because it's only $70.
See, that's my thing. I love all the once a year payments. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to do Netflix. It's monthly, and I don't like monthly payments anymore.
Yeah, my HBO's monthly, but that's fine. But I use that. Of all of them, I use HBO all the time. So, which they just got. Actually, there's some good stuff coming on HBO. They just started. Oh, Fast and the Furious. They put the first Fast and the Furious movie on there, and they've got all kinds of good stuff on that. On that. What you call it? That streaming platform. Plus, I love the fact that Turner Classics on there as well. You can watch all those old classic Humphrey Bogart movies. But I'm guessing probably here soon. I'm thinking you might see some Sean Connery movies come on.
Yeah, I was just looking where I could watch like James Bond movies, and they're either on. There's like a couple on Hulu, but all the rest is like you got to pay for them. None of them are anywhere.
Did you? Speaking of platforms, have you seen the petitions going around to return the Charlie Brown cartoons back to network television?
Yeah, we were ahead on that again.
I know, right? Nobody wants to sign up for freaking Apple Plus TV, and they're only available for 2 days.
Wow. Apple is such a rip, even though I own an iPhone and an iPad.
Well, I've got an iPhone, and I love iTunes, but I had like they gave that away for like the first year, and I downloaded it because it was free, but I never watched it, and all the stuff I did want to watch, I had to pay extra for.
Huh.
So
How about that?
How about that?
I canceled it because I think it's like Get Quibi. Quibi's better. I'm telling you.
Honestly,
Quibi was
all the
better
stuff
than
we've
Apple
talked
TV.
about Quibi, the more I kind of want it. Because there's so many good shows we've talked about on Quibi, and it's just like, geez, why don't I actually get that?
Name one.
The one with the girl with the
Dummy.
sex robot.
Dummy with the sex doll. That movie should be the one with Kevin Hart.
Tosh,
John Travolta.
Reno PD.
Oh.
It's the one
Reno 911.
Yeah, Reno 911. Why did I say Reno PD? Jesus Christ. But no, there's just a lot of interesting shows I kind of want to watch on Quibi. But then again, there's other ways I could watch it. So.
What was it?
What do you guys think of? Okay,
Yeah.
going back to Mando before we move on to our next topic. What do you guys think about Timothy Oliphant spinoff? Because a lot of people are calling for it. Just a one season mini series talking about him, fighting that mining guild.
No,
I think it would be interesting.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him in something, but not that. But
yeah, I doubt it.
I don't know. I think it'd be another Justified, and I really like Justified.
So it's just like he's just the guy from Justified, except he's on Tatooine. Is that all it is?
Yes, that's what I want to see. All right.
I love Timothy Oliphant. Don't get me wrong. That guy's pretty. He's good in everything he is in. Really.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough.
Love?
He don't get enough praise. I mean, people don't talk about him. He's just one of those good, solid actors that you see him in stuff. But he brings it. He brings whatever character he's in. He brings the movie to another level. And maybe we should interview him.
Okay.
He could up our numbers. We should
our numbers would explode after that, but
all right. Well,
we don't have enough clout for that, anyways.
Hey, he could throw us a bone. We could talk about how great he is, and
just like we're going to talk about Zach or get Zach Bagans.
Zach Bagans. I mean,
because we're going to talk about him in another week or for another week. For this week.
If we kiss the right person's ass and we can get an interview on our podcast, then somebody's going to have to feel sorry for us. I'm just saying.
Zach Bagans. You guys watched his latest Ghost Adventures episode, which I'll admit I didn't get around to watching it. Also, I forgot about it.
Suck.
I kind of forgot about it.
I reminded you when it was on.
I was at work.
That doesn't matter. If you have the channel, you have the travel channel app. Come on, guys, sound like Joe Biden. If you have the travel channel, you have the travel channel app. And you can watch it on the Travel Channel app. That's how I watch it. But yes, okay. So speaking of Ghost Adventures and Zach Bagans, you should listen to our podcast and come on here and we'll interview you, Mr. Bagans, sir. He investigated the Joe Exotic Animal Park, the Joe Exotic Zoo. And he had on everybody that was on the TV show. He had Eric, and he had Jeff Lowe and his sexy girlfriend or wife or whatever, Lauren, and a couple other people. And they picked up some pretty compelling evidence. They have this deal where it kind of reads like a... what's the Xbox thing, where you can do the movers that I'm talking about? Like for Dance Dance.
Kinect.
We had, the Kinect. So they kind of use a program that the Kinect does where it reads in stick figure your movements. And they were in his house and they picked up a stick movement. They were trying to get in touch with Travis. Travis Maldonado was married to Joe Exotic, and he, dumbass, emptied a 9mm, and he did not realize there was a bullet in the chamber because he had emptied the clip out of the gun. He put it to his head and shot himself at the zoo. So they were trying to get in touch with the spirit of Travis Maldonado, and the stick figure appeared, and he kind of pointed in a direction in this closet, and in this closet was a hat that belonged to Travis Maldonado that Joe Exotic had hidden from him because he was mad at him one way or another. So then they took the hat and they put it on a couch where he used to hang out all the time. And they put like a cigarette down and they put a hat and they asked the spirit, Travis, if this is you, can you please show yourself? And the stick figure showed up behind the couch on command. So it's pretty compelling evidence. You know, I mean, if you believe in that stuff, it's pretty. It looked. Like I said, I've always said that Zach Bagans is the most legit I've seen of all the ghost investigators out there. He doesn't just go and look for ghosts. He really does his research on the place and why people are there or what they are. They picked up voices in the in the back area, and you know he's asking, you know, where are you? Where are you buried? And they said here. They had cadaver dogs pick up a scent in the alligator pit. They sent the police out, and the police did some digging. They didn't find anything, but the cadaver dogs came back out, and they did another hit. And the cadaver dogs are, I guess they have a pretty. The cadaver dogs are
Pretty reliable.
They're very reliable. They have a history of reliability. These cadaver dogs do. So it's just going in there and digging it up. But Carol Baskin owns the zoo now. Yeah, she wants to, you know, because she killed her husband. So, but Carol Baskin owns the zoo now because they had already moved even before this all started. So, it was a 2-hour episode. They caught some very, very compelling evidence there regarding Travis Maldonado passage. They believe they made contact with him. So it's a really good episode. It went fast. I usually watch. Sometimes they're on for 3-4 hours because they're Halloween specials, and this 2 hours it flew by. That's how good the investigation was, and how much evidence they were able to bring to light. So there is something there, and I think Eric, he's seen a ghost in his house, and when he stayed there, but I don't know how credible that guy is.
Who's Eric?
Eric was a worker. He just worked there.
Okay, because I've yet to see Tiger King.
God, how could you not? It's a whole damn pandemic. Everybody on God's green earth saw. 34 million people watched it like the first.
Because I feel like I've seen it because of the memes.
You've got to see it, right? That's why I grew my hair out. I want to be like the guy on the jet ski going across the lake with the Eye of the Tiger playing.
That's
But you've got to see it to appreciate it. But you've got to watch the Tiger. We know what? Now we got to do a Tiger King episode because you've not watched this episode or this show. You've got to watch it. It's must see train wreck television. Really,
it's just that train. That's just that wreck that you just can't look away from.
You can't. I watched it and I told my brother about it. And I'm like, dude, you've got to see this. I'm telling you, you won't want to go to bed. You're going to want to watch the next episode. So we watched it. I watched it twice, and it's compelling and insane all at the same time. So I highly recommend I mean, you don't have to watch the Tiger King documentary to understand the Ghost Adventures episode. So you can watch the Ghost Adventure episode. It's on demand on the Travel Channel app. There, I said it.
Did you watch any of it, Mikey?
A little bit of it. I did fall asleep watching it, so.
Shame on you.
Hey. I wake up early.
So do I.
I wake up earlier than you.
I don't care. I drive for a living.
I don't get that much sleep. So I have to take my sleep during the day too, and it just so happened to occur at the same time I was watching Ghost Adventures. But I did watch like the first 10 minutes and maybe the last 10 minutes.
That's how you watch a NASCAR race, not a Ghost Adventure. God. But
that's just what I caught. Yeah. And basically, whatever you said is basically what I remember.
I hit the highlights, but
because I basically watched all of the interview part where they're going through the story and maybe where activity may be, and then I definitely did not watch any of their investigation.
Dude,
And
his house though. They went in his house. Did you see the inside of his house?
Yeah, it was a mess.
No.
It was so gross.
I don't know. They just need to bulldoze that whole place.
They do. They just need to drop a bomb on it.
I mean, I can get a flamethrower. We can take care of it.
Elon Musk, help us out.
But good episode. Highly recommend. Zach Bagans, you're doing a stand-up, bang-up job on your show. Always producing good evidence for people that believe in ghosts. Or even if you don't believe in ghosts, he can convince you to believe in ghosts. So, shout out Zach Bagans, Ghost Adventures, Aaron Goodwin, Billy Tolley.
Come on our show.
Come on our show. We will interview. We'll have to, because,
Yeah.
I'll kiss his ass time he's the greatest guy in the whole world. I don't care. We'll just get him on a show. I'm telling you, one of these guys are going to feel sorry for us and say, yeah, we're going to come on your show. So we just got to find the right one.
All right. Anybody have anything else to talk about?
Well, on that, if we find somebody from Indiana, maybe they could do that, which is Brendan Fraser is from Indianapolis, I believe. So there we go.
He doesn't deserve half the crap he gets. He was a great actor back in the day.
What happened? There's a whole story behind why he's not. Did he get he got a creeper, a sexually assaulted or something?
No, if I remember right, he I don't want to say got bullied, but I don't know. We'll have to look into it a little bit and talk about it another time because it's a legit full on story.
We'll have to get him on here and ask him.
I don't know if you'd want to talk about that.
He probably wouldn't, but we have a small enough audience that he could tell us and nobody would listen anyway. So, I mean, but don't, thank you. I'm here all week, guys. Thank you for the laughter.
I need a crickets button.
You guys suck. But no, right. I think there is a legit reason why he's not. What the hell? Why he's not?
Oh, I remember because so the third Mummy movie since he did a lot of his own stunts, he hurt himself, and if I remember right, he got addicted to the painkillers, and basically the movie studio wouldn't pay out his insurance. And there was a whole deal with he just got really hurt and got addicted to painkillers.
Yeah, but there's another part of the story.
There's another part of the story, but I remember that was one of the things.
It's that whole shady, Corey Feldman kind of backstory. I think has got part of it too. Terry Crews has got stories like that too. So
yeah,
there's legit dark secrets of Hollywood and he might have been blackballed because of it.
Because he talked or spoke out against it.
Because he's speaking out against it, yes. So, because that happened to Mira Sorvino, very same reason. She got blackballed. Which she's an Oscar-winning actress, I believe, isn't she?
Yes.
Mira Sorvino. So
I don't remember.
I think she was. I think she won one for Mona Lisa's Smile, I believe. But I believe she was blackballed, and I think it's all in the same thing as what Brendan Fraser is going through, so, or has gone through. He's in that movie, that TV show that's on HBO, though. Do you know what I'm talking about? Nobody knows what I'm
No.
talking about? Oh, she won an Oscar for Mighty Aphrodite. And Brendan Fraser is in the TV show. Brendan. I can't even spell his name. Brendan Fraser. He was born in Indianapolis. See, I told you. Doom Patrol. He was in Doom Patrol on HBO.
Oh,
He plays the robot guy. Robot Man. See? It's just his name, Robot Man.
you're close. You're close.
I said robot guy,
Yeah.
robot man. So, yeah, he's in that. So, at least he's getting some work out there. And that's not a bad show. I've seen about 3 or 4 episodes. It's just hard to watch every episode of everything that you want to watch.
I know, right?
But,
All right. Does anybody else have anything else to talk about tonight, or
no,
I'm pretty much tapped.
we got nothing.
Nope. Yeah, mostly just the Sean Connery and the Mando stuff.
Yep. Dodgers won the World Series. We know that.
Yeah.
They don't care.
All right. Mikey, you got a shower thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Give me a second. Wait. Hold on. Just give me a second.
Can I say real quick how much I hate changing time with daylight savings?
I didn't even realize until I had to go change a clock.
Because it's like 20 till, well, now it's 20 till 10, but it's really 20 till 11. So I should be asleep now, but I can't because it's not time to go to bed yet.
I mean, Indiana didn't have daylight savings time for a while.
Forever. And I remember when I first moved to Florida, we had daylight savings, and I freaking hated it then. And I hate it just as much now. What's the point? Cows don't care what time it is. Roosters don't. Nobody cares. Just leave the time where it's same.
I care.
Why? Like the extra hour of daylight in the summertime? For
Yeah.
what? You like that sunshine in an hour longer while you're playing video games?
Exactly.
I know. I would rather that extra hour of sunshine go away while I'm watching my Big Bang Theory reruns. So.
Okay. It's the last Halloween one I have. I know it was just yesterday. Or it would be Saturday if you're listening to this Monday. Since it's the Halloween season, I'll give you a treat. Put your hand to your chest. Feel your heart beat. That's your ghost chipping away at its cell.
What?
At its cell, it's a prison.
What? I totally did not understand that whatsoever.
Wow, Chris, come on.
Listen
now.
to your heartbeat. What? I didn't get that. What is it?
Feel your heartbeat. That's the ghost. That's your ghost chipping away at its cell.
Oh,
prison
I got
cell.
you now. I got it. I understand now.
I got another
Hey,
one. I got another one. It's a small one. It's probably better than that one. I was pushing it on that one. That was
All
a
right,
little weird.
let's try another one. See if
All
it
right.
works.
Let's edit it out. The first one.
No, we're not
No,
going to edit
no
that
edit.
out. It's
No
just
edit.
staying.
I'm not gonna edit out Liam.
Okay. Yeah. Lasagna is just spaghetti flavored cake.
I'll take that one all day long.
Okay.
That's very true.
He's old, so it takes him a little bit. It's harder to joke.
Shut up.
If you guys want to join in the conversation, leave a comment on the YouTube video. You can, leave a comment on Facebook, Twitter,
iTunes.
email us, I guess.
Email us. Yes, we have an email address. It is.
I don't remember.
I think it's Hoosier Pod. Or Hoosier.
Hold on.
It's I got it on my Gmail account. Hang on a second. It is a Gmail account. I know.
Yeah.
HoosierNerds@gmail.com.
There you go.
So
you want to email us for some reason, but honestly, it's probably easier to get a hold of us on Twitter or Facebook.
Yes.
Or YouTube
Don't-
comment. I do check
Don't
them.
send
No one
us
comments.
nudes.
I will not turn them away though.
Don't send us cat pictures. We don't care about that.
We don't want dog photos either. No
No.
dog photos.
No animal photos of any kind.
But if you have any, want us to talk, any comments or suggestions, maybe we could talk about,
Also, don't forget to rate us and review on any of the podcast forms.
share.
Yes. Spotify, iTunes.
Dislike it if you want to, because there is that one person that still dislikes everything.
Yes, we have the thumbs down guy. So thumbs down guy, go ahead and you can rate us on the other platforms as well. I know you rated us. I know they rated us on iTunes. I think thumbs down guy rated us on a 1 on iTunes as well. So
oh well.
they won't be getting a T-shirt when we get them out. I'm just saying
they won't be getting a Christmas gift either.
No Christmas gift, no T-shirt, and no shout out from Timothy Elephant, Zach Bagans, or Brendan Fraser when we interview them on our podcast.
Shit, let's just go for Donald Trump.
No, that's too.
No, that's too political. My bad.
That's too political. And he barely did an interview when they talked about the USFL on the ESPN 30 for 30. So,
so you'll never be one. I gotta try it because I suck at it.
Yeah, you do it, Chris, because you made fun of me last week, you piece of shit. So,
you'll never be wondering who's your nerds are with the Hoosier Nerds podcast. I suck at it.
Good. That was worse than me, and I didn't think that was possible.
It wasn't that bad.
Shut up, Mike. Oh my God, are you